Hello, my lovelies. Today we are going to do crisscross buns. Why crisscross? Well, you'll see when we get into this. Basically, you guys know I was wanting to do double buns this week. If you saw Monday's vid, I had some sort of like Sailor Moon action happening, but I didn't really like it. It didn't look like it did in my head because my buns were too big. So I was like, well, all right, that didn't work the way I wanted it to. So what else can I do? So I do double buns from time to time because I like double buns, because when you have this much hair, it's sometimes nice to split your hair in half and do two buns because it disperses the weight a little bit more and is more comfortable. Also, double buns are just cute. A lot of you, though, I noticed back last April, when we did bleedest buns, you know, I wear mine high, and I noticed most of you wore yours lower. So in my head, I was trying to think of like a low bun for y'all. But I was also trying to think of how to do double buns without having the hard part, because it's not my favorite thing. Sometimes I like a hard part, but it's not always the look I'm going for. So after thinking about it for a little bit, I figured out how to make this work so we wouldn't have a part, but we got low buns. And since just regular braided buns are a little boring, we're gonna switch up the braids a little bit just to make it look fancy. So I'm gonna take my glasses off in just a moment, just so I don't have weirdness happening. So I'm going to do this blind, basically. I just need to give my eyes a rest. So what do we need? We need pins, we need clear elastics, and you need something to part your hair with. Yay. So, yeah, crisscross buns, because we're going to do this little crisscross thing, right? Also, you're going to need some of these. You're going to need some of these clips, because we need to keep sections from. Anyways, let's just get started. Well, let me get my part started first. So I'm doing a hard part. I'm doing a far part, like all the way over here, right? So we're going to do it diagonally. And your goal is to make is the same amount of hair on both sides of this part. So hopefully I will have, it's right about the same thickness. So our part goes like this, right? So let's pull this all, brush this all over to this side, and pull it out of the way first. Clipping. Get this out of the way. Yeah, you may need a few little clips here and there. And now we're going to take this, we're going to bring it to the side, and we're going to start an English braid. So I'm going to take my glasses off now. Hopefully my under eyes don't look atrocious. I can't really tell. Yes, we want to smooth, depending on how you did your part. Since I did mine right to left, I'm going to take the right hand side, bring it over here to the left. The first thing I'm going to do is take this and put this over here. And we are going to start, hopefully this is all nice and smooth, we're going to start an English braid. Just 3-strand English, but don't braid it all the way down. We're just going to start it. We're just starting the English braid. We're going to do a couple of rounds. I pulled from the back first. So, you know, just braid a little bit. Braid a little bit. That's probably enough. That's probably too much, actually, but that's fine. I'm going to clip that off for now. Now we're going to go back to this side, and we're going to brush the hair over to the opposite side and braid over there. And what this does is this makes it so that we do not have a hard part going straight down the center of our head, because that's what I'm trying to avoid. I don't want a hard part. I want it to look smooth and nice, but what usually happens when we do a double bun, you either start parting at the beginning which means you've got a hard part all the way down. Or you could just, you know, take this side and this side, but then right above your buns, you've got a weird scalp cleavage thing happening. And you guys have remarked at various times over the years that scalp cleavage is not your favorite. Hopefully this is smooth. I can't really tell. All right. What we're going to do on this side is exactly the same. We're going to start with an English braid. We're just going to do a few turns of our English braid, and then we're going to rope braid. Now, you do not have to rope braid. You can use English braids if you want to. I'm rope braiding because it's faster. And what we're going to do with all those rope braids is we're going to braid them together, English braid style. I like rope braideds, yes. I like rope braids, English braided, more than I like English braids, English braided. That might sound a little weird. All right, now I can put my glasses back on and see what I'm doing. So I have 3 sections over here. So what I need to do is clip them separately. So we're going to clip this one out of the way. I'm going to work on this one first, and I'm going to add another clip on the one right behind it. If I can get it in there. Yay! So what I'm going to do now is rope braid all of these sections. You see we've got the English started, but I'm just going to take each one of these strands, separate them into 2, and then rope braid them all the way down and tie them off with clear hair tie. So let me get all of that done, and we'll be back and I'll show you the next step. Okay, back in a sec. Alrighty, dolls, so everything's rope braided. This one's done. Yeah, so our 3 strands, see we still have the beginnings of an English braid. We split our strands up, rope braided those, and then we're just going to continue the braid with our rope braids and continue an English braid. I decided to do this because I thought it looked a little more interesting. You guys know I love the easy hairstyles that look like they're really something. You can simply make these English braids and then braid your English braids. But I do really tend to like rope braids English braided because it just looks a little different. And they're still fairly malleable. Rope braids end up being a lot more malleable braided together than English braids sometimes. I think because they're just 2 strands instead of 3. I don't know why. Or maybe it's just my hair. Who knows? But, you know, feel free. You can do whatever kind of braids you want, as always. As I always tell you guys, you do you. But if you want this look, this is what I'm doing. So those are all together. I'm going to tie those off. And then we're just going to make some buns. Just cinnamon buns. Nice and easy. Nothing major. But they look cool. So I've got my pins ready. I'm going to start with the right hand side and just loop it around, but I am going to go ahead and pin down this first loop just to make sure it stays, and it gives us a little base to work with, and then we're just going to wrap it roundy. That's it. Tuck our ends. I'm pinning as I go so that it will stay, because, you know, it stays better if you pin as you go. I think that works especially well for my slippy-haired girls. Although, you can always make this whole bun and then put a spin pin in it if you are a spin pin fan. You know, it's all up to you. There's my end. Tuck that in. And one more pin. Should do it, I believe. Yeah. And then same thing on the other side. Here we go. These are our crisscross buns. As you can see, there's no hard part. There's no scalp cleavage showing. We have this pretty sort of little swoop happening here at the bottom. It's lower on the head, so it's nice and comfortable. It reminds me a little bit of the one we did from Dragon Age Origins, you know, like the ram buns, the Anora hairstyle, but it's a little different. We didn't ram horn the braids up, you know, or any of that, and like I said, no hard parts, which is nice. Let me take my glasses off so you can see what it looks like without the glasses. It's softer, but it's comfortable. All your hair is up. I think these buns look cool because we English braided the rope braid, so there's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, I think this is pretty. It's practical. Looks nice from the front. You know, I could have left my bangs down, but I just pulled them back, whatever. But yeah, there you go. Double buns, comfortable, stays put, a little bit interesting, but you know, it's nice. We have no scalp cleavage, which is always good. Alrighty, that's it for me today. Alas, you get no extra videos this week because I have a shortened week. Because the old man and I are going out tomorrow night. We've got a concert to go to, and we're taking a day on Friday. He's taking the day off since the concert's on a Thursday, so we're just going to spend the day together. So we'll see how that goes. We don't do that very often, just the two of us. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll throw a vid up about something or other. Who knows? It's been known to happen. But I will see you guys next week, and I'll try and come up with something else. I think this is a hairstyle a lot of you will actually attempt. So, yes, don't forget, it's either hashtag torrinslovelies or hashtag Criss Cross Buns, one or the other. I'll look for both. Yeah. So, I will see you next week. Have a great weekend. Be good at it. I love you guys. Bye.